Rafael Nadal and Novak Djokovic have contested an Open-era record 53 matches in their FedEx ATP head-to-head rivalry. Djokovic leads 28-25. And the top two players in the ATP ranking will battle once again in the final of the Internazionale Biennale d'Italia. This will be the pair's 8th match in the Italian capital, the most times they have played at one tournament, breaking a tie with the 7 Roland Garros clashes. Nadal leads Djokovic 4-3 in their mini-series at the ATP Masters 1000 event, which includes 4 meetings for the title, 2-2. Sunday's final will be especially significant as both men are attempting to claim sole ownership of the record for most Masters 1000 titles. Last week, at the Madrid Open, Djokovic equaled the Spaniard's haul of 33 crowns at this level. Nadal arrived in Rome without a trophy on the season for the first time since 2004, the first year he won a title. The Spaniard, who fell to Djokovic in the Australian Open final in January, is building in confidence after a trio of semi-final runs in Monte Carlo, Barcelona and Madrid. The Manacor native has dropped just 13 games en route to the championship match, beating Jeremy Chardy, Nicolas Basilashvili, Fernando Verdasco and Tsitsipas to move one win away from his 9th trophy at the event. Djokovic is aiming to become the first man to win 3 tour-level titles this year. The Australian Open and Madrid Open titleist owns a 23-4 record this season and will be confident of adding to his 50 victories in Rome, 58 after defeating Diego Schwartzman 6-3, 6-7, 2, 6-3, following his late-night quarter-final victory against Juan Martín del Potro. Djokovic saved 2 match points to defeat the Tower of Tandil 4-6, 7-6, 6, 6-4 in the early hours of Saturday morning. ATPTour.com takes a closer look at Nadal and Djokovic's 7 previous meetings in Rome. 2018 semi-final, Nadal d. Djokovic 7-6, 4, 63. Entering the pair's first meeting in more than a year, Nadal was the clear favorite. The top seed had won 50 consecutive sets on clay, a record for the most sets claimed in a row on a single surface, before falling in the Madrid quarterfinals the previous week. And it was tough to tell how high Djokovic, still recovering from a right elbow injury, would be able to raise his level. But the Serbian played excellent tennis, especially in the first set, comfortably finding the sharpest of angles from the backhand corner to give Nadal fits. But toward the end of the opening set, the Spaniard began to unleash his forehand down the line, therefore changing court positioning and taking control of baseline rallies, leading to his eventual victory. It was an important win for Nadal, earning his 356th ATP World Tour Masters 1000 match victory to break a tie with Roger Federer, 355 for the most in history. The 31-year-old also moved within one triumph of reclaiming the number 1 spot in the ATP rankings after dropping to number 2 with his loss in Madrid. The triumph not only showed Nadal's great form, but also that Djokovic, despite competing in just his first semi-final of 2018, is on his way back to his top level. 2016 quarter-final, Djokovic d. Nadal 75-76, 4 in the closest contest for almost 2 years. Djokovic rallied from a breakdown in both sets to thwart an in-form and enthusiastic Nadal. The Serb extended his recent mastery over the Spaniard to move into the Rome semi-finals for the 10th consecutive year. Djokovic has now won the past 7 matches and 15 sets against Nadal. The world number 1 leads the FedEx ATP head-to-head rivalry 26-23. He also moved within 2 matches of winning his 30th ATP World Tour Masters 1000 title. 2014 final, Djokovic d. Nadal 4-6, 6-3, 6-3. Djokovic pulled closer to Nadal in the battle for no. won in the Emirates ATP rankings by claiming his third Rome title and 19th at the ATP World Tour Masters 1000 level. It was the Serb's second triumph over his rival in a Rome final, having prevailed in the 2011 title match. Nadal entered the 41st encounter having spent over 10 hours on court through the semi-finals, but the seven-time champion showed no signs of fatigue in the early stages. He would surge to a double break lead in the first set behind a ferocious offensive onslaught, and held on to take the opener in 46 minutes. In their previous 10 meetings, the player who had won the first set went on to win the match. Djokovic was ready to buck the trend, finding his range and rhythm in the second and third sets and turning the tables with a tenacious attacking display. He would hold Nadal to winning under 28% of second serve points won for the rest of the match, firing return winners with ease and standing tall on the baseline. Djokovic has 46 winners, including 15 from the backhand side, and 6 aces were too much for Nadal to overcome. 2012 final, Nadal d. Djokovic 75-63. The pair contested the final at the Foro Italico from the third time, with Nadal coming out on top to avenge the defeat he had suffered at Djokovic's hands a year earlier. With the final rained off on Sunday, it was below brighter skies on Monday that the pair took to court. Djokovic was under immediate pressure from Nadal. The Serb, who had beaten Roger Federer in the semi-finals, saved 2 break points in his opening service game before Nadal converted his fourth opportunity to lead 3-2. Djokovic immediately recovered the service break, but was broken by Nadal again in the 11th game after a scintillating exchange at the net, and the Spaniard sealed the opener. Nadal was quick to capitalize on his momentum, taking advantage of an increased unforced error count by Djokovic and dominating from the baseline as he broke in the first game of the second set. Djokovic squandered 4 break-back points in the following game, and another in the fourth game, before surrendering the match in the 9th game after 2 hours and 20 minutes with his fourth double fault. You may also like Nadal beats Tsitsipas to reach Rome final. 2011 final, Djokovic d. Nadal 64-64. One day after a thrilling semi-final win over Andy Murray, Novak Djokovic defeated defending champion Rafael Nadal for a second consecutive Sunday in a clay court ATP World Tour Masters 1000 final. The Serbian broke the world no. 1 4 times, including the final games of the first and second sets, to become just the second player, Davydenko, to record 4 straight victories against the Spaniard. He also became the first player to win 4 Masters 1000 titles in one season since Nadal and Roger Federer claimed 4 apiece in 2005. On Saturday evening, Djokovic had come within 2 points of defeat before rallying to defeat Murray in a third-set tiebreak. His streak of 39 successive tour-level victories following the Rome final was the 6th longest winning streak in the Open era. 2009 final, Nadal d. Djokovic 7-6-2, 6-2. 2 weeks on from the keenly contested match in the final of the Monte Carlo Rolex Masters, Nadal and Djokovic met in an ATP World Tour final for the 4th time at the Internazionale Biennale d'Italia in Rome. Nadal served for the first set twice, but each time was thwarted by Djokovic determined to defend his title at the Foro Italico. The Spaniard raised his level in the first set tiebreak though before breaking twice in the second set to secure his 30th consecutive clay court victory and a record 4th Internazionale Biennale d'Italia title after 2 hours and 3 minutes of play. Nadal's victory had added significance for Djokovic, who will surrender his number 3 South African Airways 2009 ATP ranking to current No. 4 Andy Murray when the 2008 Rome points drop on the 11th of May 2007 quarter-final, Nadal d. Djokovic 62-63 back on his beloved clay. Two-time defending champion Rafael Nadal produced a devastating display to beat Novak Djokovic 6-2, 6-3 in 1 hour and 41 minutes. "I'm playing at my best level for sure," Nadal said after extending his Open-era record-winning streak to 77 matches. "It was a very nice match. We were playing at 100% every point. Djokovic is very good player. He didn't play a bad match today. He served very well on the break points, unbelievable. Every time he beat me with the serve. But finally I played consistently, and that's decisive. Let's block ads. Why?